I'm coming at you from outside NAMM 2025 with the hard-hitting journalism that nobody wants or needs. When should you change your guitar strings? It's time to Ask NAMM. How often should you change your guitar strings?
I change them whenever I break a string.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing.
Officially, you should change them every single day, and you should buy a set of string joys to do it. Personally, I do it maybe every 3 weeks or so.
It depends on what you do for a living. I was on a train recently playing guitar. I broke a string about every day, so I needed to change it, And I think once a month is a safe one. If you're really playing, if you're playing 5 days a week, you might need to do it every 2 weeks. I like it. Yeah.
I change it when the high E string starts to feel rusty.
As soon as you can start to feel some gunk build up on it, or if you hit that open E string and you don't hear it ring nice and clear.
As often as you need to.
Wonderful. Tell me, Lee, when should you change your guitar strings?
This depends, in my opinion. From an ex-professional touring musician, I used to change my strings every 3 gigs. But if you're just sitting at home, I reckon once every month.
Before they break.
I think you should change guitar strings after every gig.
Every gig, excellent.
After every gig. Then you're ready for the next gig.
I mean, logically, maybe once per month.
I think it depends on what style of music you play and how often you play.
I like it.
Because if you're jamming those strings and you're playing every single day, I would say probably at least once a week.
Okay.
You hear about people like Slash, they're like, oh, his guitar tech, he changes strings during each show.
Yeah.
So he could play the same guitar on 2 sets of strings in one show.
As soon as they're dead.
Love it.
I change my guitar strings whenever one breaks, change the whole set.
I go once a month.
Once a month, G?
Okay, so once a month sounds good to me. Realistically, I probably do it once every 3 months.
Okay, right on.
And, but like, I really don't have a problem with like breaking strings.
I'm Mike from Stoke Signals.
Mike, okay.
I play drums, and all I know is, wasn't there a show where you broke a string?
There was a show where I broke, of all strings, the low E string.
Dude, I think you're getting called out.
I do, for sure.
Just when they break.
When they break, I like
that's how you get the most use out of them.
Excellent.
If you're like me and you play never, 6 months.
6
But
months.
if you're like me and you play often, just as soon as you start noticing some crud.
I like it. What about you, man?
Nah, the tone is in the cheese, man.
Tone is the cheese. All right, I'm here with Steve from Summer School Electronics. How often should you change your guitar strings?
Never. All of my strings on all of my instruments are currently rusting off, and I still play them despite the fear of getting tetanus.
All right, so you should change your strings before practice. No, that's a kidding.
Okay.
At least before anytime you go in the studio.
Before
and anytime you play live.
Any recording.
Anytime you play live, he's absolutely on point.
And then if they're getting, if they start feeling like wet, stinky underwear, you got to change them.